Now, a new study has revealed a significant shift when it comes to research and patents in the field of remote sensing.
And China now dominates a field that's critical for everything from autonomous mobility to climate forecasts and defense systems.
Remote sensing, or the science of collecting data from sensors on drones, aircraft, and satellites, used to be a space that the US controlled almost completely. In fact, back in 1990s, American universities and even NASA produced almost 90% of all research papers in this field. China's contribution was nearly zero. However, a new analysis by New York University shows a dramatic reversal. By 2023, China was responsible for nearly half of global publications in remote sensing. While the US share had fallen to under 10%, the study that was published in the journal Geomatics tracked over 126,000 research papers from more than 70 journals that covered 6 decades of data.
Now, key findings from the study reveal that China leads remote sensing research with 47% of global output, while U.S. share has dropped from 88 to 9%. Now, Chinese funding agencies back over 50% of new research in the subject, whereas NASA and the U.S. National Science Foundation now sit in the 7th and 8th place. The study also reveals that China holds the top 6 global funding institutions. The country also leads in remote sensing patents filed worldwide.
The study points to one major factor behind the shift, and that is massive, consistent government funding. China's strategic programs have poured money into space, laser imaging, AI-driven mapping, and even quantum remote sensing that allows researchers to achieve levels of precision unthinkable almost a decade ago. Also, the World Report warns that U.S. investment in the field has shrunk sharply, with no dedicated government department for cartography or even geodata, and overall science funding now facing cuts.
Since President Donald Trump took office for the second time, he has cut funding across academic disciplines and researches. The report also notes that remote sensing output has exploded globally, from just a dozen papers a year in the 1960s to over 13,000 per year today.
Mr. President.